hat on.
Yo.
Earl, don't do it. I know what you're laughing at. Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right.
Guys, we have talked Browns.
Talk about my hair, my forehead.
We have talked
And my
Browns. We have
hairline.
talked Guardians. It is time to talk Cavs. And there was a report from Jake Fischer, which came out over the weekend. Earlier this week, that said the Spurs, on the night of the NBA draft, made a interesting offer to the Cleveland Cavaliers for one Darius Garland. According to this report from Jake Fischer, the Spurs, in this hypothetical deal, would have acquired Darius Garland in return for the 4th and the 8th pick in the upcoming draft, which was later that night. The 4th pick ended up being Stephon Castle out of UConn. The 8th pick was then traded to Minnesota, but with the 8th pick, Rob Dillingham was the selection. G, I know you were on the trade DG at all costs train earlier. In hindsight, which is obviously 2020, would you have taken that offer from the Spurs for number 4 and 8 on draft night for Darius Garland?
4 and 8 is that was nice. Did they get another player with that? They get anything else with that?
You see the graphic. You see the
They
graphic
just
that
won
was
4
made.
and 8.
That's the graphic, man. That's the graphic.
Let's hear. What you doing with that?
I would have counter offered. I would have countered offered with a little something more. I needed something in the future as well as something now.
So you do speak. You think highly of Darius.
I couldn't give that away just for some futures.
Okay.
Like that futures. That ain't gonna get nothing for me. I need something today.
A couple months ago,
Hey,
he's out of here.
Let's be clear. Darius Garland, and when we talked about the ceilings or the best case and worst case scenarios, the worst case for Darius Garland is he's just a good player. Like he's not gonna wake up tomorrow and be like completely garbage. He's gonna give you the 15 or 16 like as a ceiling or as a low basement for him. Like, you know, he's just not gonna be 234 million max player. I'm the second best player on the team that can carry a team. No, you can't. That's not him. I think he's more of a third best player. Now for that, I need something else. They gotta give me something else. I gotta have another guy that I can plug in and play and get something for. I can't do 4 and 8. Now, guess what? 4 and 8 in other drafts, I would consider it. But this draft?
He talking out of both sides.
No, that's not true.
You saying on one hand he could be the third best player on the team,
Right.
But you need more than the 4 and the 8 because to you it's not an all-star caliber player. That's a dude that just gonna roll up. If a dude is giving you 15 points a game,
16.
He's trying
15, 16 points a game.
He's trying to fleece somebody.
Like
What you mean?
you getting two draft picks. You're not getting more than that
Well, why not?
because you just said he's just a guy. You're
He's
not
a-
going to get more than that than just a guy.
This the way negotiations work. If I want to flow with the Spurs, I'm not saying he's just a guy. He's a one-time All-Star. He played on the U.S. select team. This guy has borderline All-Star talent, gives you borderline 20 points a game.
So that's worth 2 draft picks.
No, not in this draft class. Everything, the price of tea in China today is not the same way it's going to be tomorrow. It's the futures. And 4 and 8 in this draft,
I just think
those 4, if you look at it, McNuggets, talk about this, like next year, they got Cooper Flag.
The next 2 drafts are extremely highly regarded.
And that is why they gave you 4 and 8 this year.
I'm just saying,
your tune changed. That's all I'm
it
saying.
did. But me,
I'm
I'm going to let you cook because I know DG your boy, but if it was me, maybe this is just, I'm psyched out psychologically, right? But if Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs call and they want a player on my team, I'm really hesitant because I know who Pop is. What the hell you see in DG that I don't?
So you agree?
Or what do you believe that you can get out of DG that I can't? I wouldn't have made the deal.
We already.
So you agree then?
They wouldn't even pick the phone up and ask us.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, you're willing to listen to it.
I answer all phone calls, all of them.
You know, I would have been like, hello, yeah, this is the Spurs. We want to give you the 4 and the 8 for D. Click.
Now there's a pick, there's a trade that McNuggets had that also that we had prognosticated on earlier before the draft. That I would think about taking that trade.
From the Spurs?
From the Spurs. He had one cooked up.
McNuggets came back and
And
said
said he
that
wouldn't
after
take
further
it.
evaluation, there's nobody out there that he would trade Darius Garland
But
for.
that trade was better than this one, and I didn't take that one.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't take the Spurs trade.
Yes,
you might
we
rewind
did.
that tape.
We all said
No.
that he made us rank them, and we said that the Spurs trade,
was
it was
the
the Spurs, the Timberwolves,
And I said
Karl
that was the
Anthony
worst.
Towns, and Brandon Ingram
And
was
that
the
was
top
the worst
three.
one.
I don't
and
know.
didn't take that
I did a
one.
social clip on that. I think you took that trade.
They gonna find it. They'll find it.
I think you
I
took
didn't
that
take that trade.
I think G did take.
I didn't take that trade.
G, I'll look it up in a
No,
second.
no,
Can I
no.
give my 2 cents on this real quick? Then I'll go look.
Go
it up.
ahead. Go look at it. I want to see you got that.
You hang up immediately, and it's not that 4-8's a bad package, but you need players who can play immediately when you have Donovan Mitchell. And obviously this was before Mitchell signed the extension.
Yeah.
But you were in win now mode. You can't bring in rookies and then throw off your timeline even more. You already had the weird timeline when you brought in Mitchell and Mobley was going in his second year and all that. Like, you can't go backwards and then take time to develop more rookies. G, I'm going to go see if I can find that.
Please find that. Because, listen, I said no to that. He had one with the Houston deal up there that I was like, I might think about this Houston
You
deal.
said yeah on that. I'm telling you.
Hey, listen, you know they're trying to trade Jalen Green.
You know, I got to be honest.
I take that deal.
I got to be honest.
I take that deal.
I owe Darius Garland somewhat of an apology.
Whoa, no, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I'm gonna tell you why.
even
No,
about
let
to
me
let
finish.
It's not your fault.
even gonna let you finish.
It's not your fault.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because you know, sometimes
let him speak.
Sometimes, like,
Let him speak, because
sometimes
you might be there. You
sometimes
might get there.
we got to fall back on our morals sometime, right? And I wasn't doing what my grandmama raised me to do. My grandmama raised me to give people grace and mercy, right? And I've heard from plenty of people who's closer to the situation than I am that Darius Garland went through a lot off the court last year.
I kept saying
right?
that.
You couple that with the broken jaw and then just the psychological aspect of everything. And because of me being a fan, so passionate, so emotional, I was talking about benching him. I was basically saying this dude ain't got it. I just refuse to show him grace. And it's much like time heals all wounds, right? And a lot of time has moved on from that point to now. And I just want to give this man the opportunity to go out here and redeem himself. The one thing about this country, the one thing about this city, right? We all love a good redemption story.
Shout out to the Lion King. This the remix.
I
The
agree.
circle.
I agree.
The
wholeheartedly.
circle of
You better
denial.
watch. My grandma watching.
That
You better
circle,
watch.
So-
the circle of denial
You not hearing
is
that?
strong.
You ain't hearing that?
Here's what happens here, man. Anytime you get outside 2 or 3 months after the season, you start distancing yourself from the reality of what you saw. We saw Darius Garland melt in the playoffs. We saw him melt. We did. In front of our eyes. But since it's some time that went by, time heals all old wounds. It's just like you be in a bad relationship, but you be one day, 12 o'clock, you like, man, maybe she wasn't that bad. No, she was that bad. You just remembering all the good stuff and you lonely right now. Right now, the Cavs is lonely. They didn't get no free agents. All we can watch is Summer League. They made no moves. They got Donovan Mitchell and they told you we ain't gonna do nothing. So what are you gonna do? We can yell at the moon, but they running it back. So now we got to rationalize and be in denial about why they running it back. It ain't they running it back because they were so great. They running it back because nobody want the pieces or parts. They couldn't get no moves. McNuggets, did I say it or not?
So you were not on the day that we did the hypothetical
you.
trades. However, the next day when we pitched it to you, you said, and I quote, "Ooh, that sounds real good."
Did I
And we
say?
moved on. You
Did,
didn't say
did I say yes or no?
No, he just said, "Ooh, that sounds real good."
Y'all got to learn. Listen, I don't recall. I plead the fifth. At the time, there was no yes or no on record.
I think going forward, when Darius Garland conversations come up, you need to ask to have your lawyer present. That's what you need to do.
But Darius, I hope Darius plays well this year.
No, you don't.
Why don't?
No, you don't.
No,
Shut up.
No,
Shut up. No, I'm not even about to sit here and let you tell that lie. No, you don't.
I want Darius to be
You
loose.
can't wait for
Nah.
him to do bad so you can come right here, look at the camera and say, I told y'all he
You got
wasn't no
6 months
good.
worth of
I
content.
told you that we should have been got rid of him. You should have took the 4 and 8.
Hey.
They should have. If they would have offered you 29 and 30, they should have took it. You ready to say something like that?
Hey, listen, he had an opportunity to shine. He been trying to shine. Hey, we heard all in the middle of the season. Hey, Donovan Mitchell was balling with Evan Mobley, But wait till we get Darius back. Everybody was like, wait till we get Darius back.
That's not what everybody said.
G got a predated.
That's not what they said.
You know he be up 1, 2 in the morning. G got a predated Darius Garland diss track already recorded.
It's already recorded. All the diss track is gonna say is, in hindsight, all it's gonna say is, I told you so, and we need to bench him for Imani Bates. That's all he gonna say.
Nah, he's pivoted off Imani Bates.
What you
talking about?
No,
You missed
He
it.
pivoted off of Imani Bates.
What? You ain't Imani Bates fan?
Whoa.
What happened?
The nuance. Y'all don't understand. Y'all got to read the grades
Oh
right here.
my gosh.
When he
I'm
said,
calling Ripley.
First and foremost, Imani Bates will contribute to the Cleveland Cavaliers this year. Second of all, you can do two things at once. See, they try to play this versus that. Just because I said Jalen Tyson's game is nice, don't mean I don't like Imani Bates. It could be two of the same things at the same time. I like Jalen
They both
Tyson.
play the same position.
And guess what? They got 12 people on the roster.
All right, so who's playing first?
I said Jalen Tyson. I like his game. I told him I would start him.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So Max Strus coming off the bench.
Yeah, Max is going to the bench.
Okay.
Max is going to the
Let
bench.
me get your bench lineup. So you got who had the one coming
So listen, we got my man.
Karras?
No, Porter Jr.
Okay.
We got Jared Allen. He's coming off the bench too.
So who's starting at the 4 then? Huh? Who's starting at the 4?
I'm going death lineup. My starting lineup next year is Darius Garland. I got your boy. What's his name? Donovan Mitchell,
Tyson.
Jalen Tyson, Karis LeVert, and Mobley.
You got no. Okay.
Hey, Mike faces.
Hold on. Watch this. Hold on. I see the Golden State Warriors coming out with way less than that.
Mike said it all.
Listen, watch this. I seen Chris Bosh in the Miami Heat coming out at 5.
They had LeBron at the 4.
They got Draymond Green playing 5 with
Steph.
Andre Iguodala at 4.
It's Andre Iguodala.
Come on, bro.
What do you mean?
Andre Iguodala
He's
versus
a great-
Jalen Tyson and Karis LeVert right now is like.
That's great.
Look at Mike's face.
That's great. I'm telling you, bro. If you want to talk
You
about
benching Jared Allen.
yes. What do you mean?
With a
He
straight
can come
face.
off the bench.
Just to hell with it, huh?
Let's not act like anybody else is starting 2 centers in the league because the Cavs are the only one.
What is the
Mobley is a center.
Okay.
What do you consider? What is Aaron Gordon?
He's a power forward.
Okay.
He's not.
You do realize who the head coach is, right?
If you want to look for
What is the Timberwolves?
I was gonna say that's the one kind of.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear
And
it.
some would argue that they shouldn't be playing Rudy Gobert either.
The defensive player of the year. Yeah, you're right.
Listen, hey,
let's not start the
watch this,
let's not start the defensive player of the year.
Watch this. He's been a defensive player of the year
Like
and they ain't-
12 times out of 13.
and they ain't been to the finals once.
He just got there this year.
No, I'm talking about the NBA finals.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, let's not act like
When has the last? Oh,
For the
I
la-
guess it would be Marcus Smart.
for the last 20 years, they've been playing small ball lineups, death lineups forever. I don't understand why.
Yeah, but listen, G, the difference, and we got super chats. A death lineup, and with all Jalen Tyson might turn out to be great, but a death lineup, you go small because you got so many guys that dudes are terrified of. Are dudes terrified of Tyson and Karis LeVert?
Karis LeVert can give you more open jump shots and create his own shot more than Max Strus.
Objection, Your Honor. That wasn't the question. Please answer the question.
What is the question? Restate.
Ask the question again, Mike.
Restate.
I mean, like, when you talk death lineup, that's the lineup that's supposed to scare the living
Yeah.
you know what out of the opponent.
Yeah.
Does Jalen Tyson and Karis LeVert at the wing scare the living you know what out of the
No,
opponent?
what I'm looking for is more switchability. I'm looking for more. I want to get out and run. I'm looking for guys that can do more things to create their own shots, and I see that better than Max Strus. And I'm gonna have Mobley out there. He's a great defender.
You should have been a politician.
Listen,
You skated around that
that
twice.
sounds like a very good point.
Hey, we got one super chat we got to get to here.